Hi, Terry here, and welcome to Times Gone Tech. So, the sporting range, Swan Creek Sporting Range, is shut down today, and I'm out here in the test range slash backyard with my 1748 British artillery carbine that I got recently from Veteran Arms, and I got to tell you that I just love this thing. Since buying it, I have just fallen in love with it. This is my first big caliber smooth bore musket in a flintlock that I've ever owned, and if you remember, the first time that I got it out, I made up a few of what I called absolutely horrendous looking paper cartridges. I'm not a paper cartridge shooter. In fact, this was the first time that I'd ever made one, and trust me, they worked, but I didn't really want to give you a close-up look at them. But it got me to thinking about paper cartridges. So I decided to try my hand making a few more, did a little more research, watched a YouTube video. That's research today. And sat down at the kitchen table and started making up a few. And what I came up with actually turned out pretty good. This is a shotgun shell. This is number 7 Birdshot. And this is the solid ball. Yeah. 69 caliber, which, by the way, this musket cannot be 69 caliber as it was sold to me, because a 69 caliber ball rolls right down it, just as pretty as you please. Now, it's a Lee Precision mold that I'm casting my bullets from, and they're known for being pretty accurate, so it could be a little undersized, but if this was actually 0.69 inch diameter, that ball wouldn't roll down that easy. So I'm thinking, I haven't put calipers on it yet, but I'm thinking this is probably closer to a 72 caliber than a 69, which would make it equivalent to about a 12 gauge shotgun. That got me to thinking about back in ye olden days, because, well, this was not an Indian trade gun, but after the American Revolution, a lot of these did end up in the hands of civilians headed out onto the frontier, and they became utilitarian hunting tools. Actually, I mean, you could use small birdshot to take turkey, quail, pheasant, squirrels, rabbits. You could use larger shot for taking deer, thus buck shot. You could use solid balls for taking down bears and antelope and whatever else you wanted. You could use it to defend yourself with. You could use it to attack with. You could take it into the militia in the event of a war. So these were very utilitarian type of weapons, tools, actually. So that got me to thinking, well, just how good would one of these smoothbore flintlocks be? So I made up some paper cartridges, and I'm going to test them against my target back here. Got a paper target set up, cardboard, and we're going to do some 7.5 birdshot, some double-aught buckshot, and a solid ball, and then check them for effectiveness, I guess, and then we'll step inside and I'll show you how I made them. So first, let's do our number 7 birdshot, and let me get my ears in. So the way you would load these, and I'm left-handed, so if you see me fumbling around with this, you'll know why. You put it on half cock, you bite the end off, pour some powder in the pan, close the frizzen, put the rest down the barrel, and it all goes down together. And this is 35 grams of number 7 birdshot, paper wadding, below and behind, behind and in front, and 90 grain charge of double F powder. Let me get my other ear in and let's try it out. Oh, target fell over. It's kind of windy today out here too. And let me adjust that, get that more. And you know what? I'm going to move this because I'm going to sit down and shoot. Did a little flinch on that. I didn't expect that. I don't see any holes. Let's go have a look. See all this? I mean, if there's a little sparrow in here, but if that was a turkey, got it. Duck, got it. Squirrel, quite possibly got it. Yep. So yeah, very effective on large game or small game. Very effective. Now, let's bump it up to a double-up buckshot. Now, this cartridge has wadding on this side. Here's the powder, and you got wadding, and then you got 9 double-up buckshot pellets and a tiny bit of wadding up front. But this will actually serve as the wadding because it'll go down like this, and this will be the wadding on top. So, again, just like with a regular cartridge, pinch a little off. And it kind of makes me wonder, if you were a civilian trying to shoot with cartridges and you didn't have any teeth that lined up, that could make it kind of difficult. That could get you drummed out of the service very quickly. We'll put a little in the pan. Rest goes down the barrel. And again, this is a 90 charge of double F black powder. All right, let's have a look at that. So again, we got a good spread. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All 9 pellets on target. And that wouldn't do a person much good either. Especially if I'd aimed up a little higher. You'd have one definite kill, several gut shot. Wouldn't do you any good, would it? Okay. And this is a 69 caliber ball. Again, 90 grains of double F. And that ball just fits too easily down that barrel. That cannot be a 69 caliber. This has got to be 72, because that just slid down that barrel after 2 shots. Okay, let me check and make sure. Yeah, I got powder. Okay, let's try it out. Let's go have a look. If you manage to hit, that'll put a hurt on anything it hits. That would take down a bear, I think, if you hit it in the right spot. So there you have it. We've got anywhere from this wide group of very small pellets for small game that's flying, that's moving, you're trying to track it. More than likely, if you got a duck or something that's flying out here, you're gonna hit it. You're gonna take it down. And then if you're going for something a little bigger, like a deer, you got several here. Imagine the deer here and his neck going up this way. We got several body shots here that would have taken him out. And well, that wouldn't do anybody much good. Hit him right about here. But again, I was aiming low. So if I was aiming high, I would have been right there like a heart lung shot. It wouldn't have, as I've said, did I say this enough times? It wouldn't do you any good. Okay. So, very useful, very utilitarian, very versatile tool to have out on the frontier. You can hunt just about anything you needed to hunt with this, with a large caliber smooth bore musket, which is why they evolved into the shotgun. So let's step inside and I'll show you how I made them up. Okay, I'm back inside. It's actually several days later. Took me a while to get everything back in the house. So there are like a gazillion videos out there right now on how to make paper cartridges, so I'm not going to bore you with a lot of yakety yak. Let's just make a few, okay? So what you're going to need here is some paper. I don't know where I got this. It has about the thickness of newspaper print. I guess it will work just fine. You'll need obviously a pair of scissors, a little marker of some kind. You're going to need, of course, your measured powder, tape measure, which I'm going to use here, some shot, some string, and that's really all you need to make these. And I believe in design on a dime. So while you can buy kits that have everything you need already made up for doing this, or I could have gone out in the driveway and cut some bamboo down the right size, but instead I found this rusty old chisel out in my shop that is just the right diameter for the type of ball that I'm going to be using. And you're also going to need, well, if you're going to make some shotgun shells, you'll need some buckshot and some number 7 Birdshot I've got here, and the ball that I'm going to use, and this is just the right size. So to get started here, I'm going to cut out a trapezoid, and I'm just going to work from here, and I'm going to go over 5.5, well, 6 inches. 6 inches over this way, up 5.5, and then up 2 inches over here. And that's really about all I'm going to do with it. If you want to go ahead and draw it all out, go ahead. I'm just going to cut it out. Like I said, I've even seen people buying templates and using them to make sure everything is just absolutely perfect. I get good enough results just doing it like this. We're going to cut out that trapezoid. There we are. And of course I got to drop it on the floor. Okay, and there's our trapezoid, and me being left-handed, I'm going to put the tall side on the left. If you're going to do it right-handed, just put it on the right. And if you want to use your scissors and clean that up, go ahead. It won't make any difference. So first I'm going to make a round ball. We'll put the ball about there or so. Right about there. Fold this over. Move that a little bit. And just roll it up nice and tight. Like so. Now, and you'll notice also I'm not using a choke cord or anything like that. I'm going to take my string. These are not, as I've said many times, historically accurate, but they work. And they look halfway decent. Pinch that down. Now I'm going to take another piece, and you'll see why here in a minute. And yes, I know I'm wasting string. There's other ways I could do it. I'm just not going to do it that way. This is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to put this string in front of the ball. I put one to close off the end of the cartridge. Now I'm going to put one down just kind of sort of tight, not really, just a little in front of the ball. And that will keep powder from working its way down around the ball and becoming useless because it won't burn. Cut that off, cut that off, there. Now, Pull out our dowel or mold form or whatever you want to call it, and we've got just a paper tube. So I'm just going to take my pre-measured powder, pour it in. This would be 90 grains of double F. Now I'm going to feel up to where that powder ends, and I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to pinch it. And I'm going to fold it over like that and pinch it down like that. And then what I like to do, just to make it a little more cool looking, is I'm just going to fold the edges over, put a little bit of a taper on it. And there it is. 169 caliber paper cartridge. Ready to go. So let's do a shotgun shell real quick. Now for this, I'm going to use that number 7 shot. I got to kind of guess here because I'm going to be putting paper and then shot. So I've got to kind of guess at that. And of course I get a little more accurate every time I do it. And here, I'm going to just take some paper. Actually, first I'm going to pour in the shot. And that tells me how much I've got to go down to get that paper wad in. There we are. Pinch it down. Now, pull this out. I'll take some more paper wadding. And you can use tow, you could use a felt wad, you can use whatever you want. Don't anybody tell you, well, you have to use this, you have to use that, bull crap. You saw that target, you saw the shot spread out on that target, that was pretty good. And we're just going to tap that down on top of that shot. Okay, now I'm going to measure my powder again. Pour in our powder. Now I'm going to do two things here. One is I'm going to measure where that powder goes, but then also I'm going to take another piece of string. And I'm just going to feel where that paper is. Right about there. And tie that off. And again, that'll just keep the powder from working its way around that wadding down into the shot and becoming useless. And there's a shotgun shell. 7.5 birdshot. Of course, this is the tab that you just bite off. Pour in your powder, and just push the rest of it down the barrel. Let's do one more with some buckshot. And I'm going to reduce the number of pellets to 7. I had 9 in that last one because that's what is in a standard shotgun shell. But it seemed like a bit much at the time. It was hard to get it loaded. Okay, so measure. Again, 7 inches by 5.5 inches. There, go up 2 inches. There. And you rough. And again, cut out 6 or 12 times. Okay, now I got my pen. I'm going to put wadding in there, so about that far back. Fold it up. Put in some paper wadding. Tamp that down. And these are .330 double-aught buckshot pellets. And one of the good things about doing it this way is, if you can see that, I got that too close. I can't, not enough room there to put any string in, so I can always just push it down a little bit. And then I'm going to put some more wadding on top of that. Tie that off. Okay, another powder charge. I'm going to go with 90 grains on all of these. Okay, now before I fill that up, I'm going to tamp that down a little more. Actually, let's do that like this, because I can feel that. I can feel where that ends very easily. There we are, right on the edge. And my powder. Ended right about there. So I'm going to cut this down just in a little bit. And you'll notice there's a side here where it's been cut and rolled up. I like to fold that over so it's a straight, solid piece on the outside. And then give that a little taper just to look pretty. There it is. One double-aught buckshot load for 69 caliber. And that's it's really that easy. I'm going to go outside and shoot some more while the sun's still up. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.